with Susan, who wants me to listen to one of her stories. One of the things that's alive with her. And my first question to myself is, can I be fully present? I've done a check-in with myself whether I've got anything on my mind that's still asking for attention. And it could take me away from listening to her story. And the second thing, if there's something emotional, that could take me away again from her story. And the third thing, I'm checking whether I took enough care of my physical needs, like having something to drink. I went to the toilet before, just to make sure that I can be fully present here. And the thing I'd like you to do is just to tell a little bit about your story, and at some point I will just interrupt you and ask a few questions.
Okay.
Okay. So what's the story that's very much alive in you?
It is a story about my mother. Last week she came to babysit my daughters. I asked her for help because I had to work a lot. And I noticed that I can hardly stand her presence in my apartment. So she was really getting on my nerves, and it was fine. She took care of my daughter. She played with her. She went out with her, and instead of I had a bad conscience at the same time, but I was so kind of pissed with her being so close to me that was really, I was struggling with that. And I still feel, I'm really sorry for that. Yeah. I would like to have a nice, easy relationship with her. But
so what I heard you say is that your mother came there to take care of your kids for an evening?
For 3 days.
For 3 days,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was in the same house as you, and for some reason it felt very uncomfortable.
For me, I'm not sure if she even noticed. She said, "It was so nice staying at your house," but I really had to struggle.
So do you have any thoughts that are connected to that struggle?
I have to be nice and thankful. I'm not able to feel that way. She's getting on my nerves. She takes so much space. At the same time, she's supporting and helping me.
So there's one thing you say. I'm repeating a little bit quicker because else I forget the things you said.
Yeah.
So the first thing you said is you have to be nice. And you are not, so you're also saying something that should be different. Then you said something like she is supporting you, so that in that way it's helpful. And there was a third thing in the middle which I forgot, and I think that was something.
I want to have an easy relationship.
Okay.
Her presence is kind of, I feel uncomfortable when she's in the same room.
Does it feel like she's taking over?
She takes a lot of space. That's
a lot of space she takes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now if you take this space, taking a lot of space, or you having to be nice, which of the two of them is to you the strongest trigger?
Her taking space.
Her taking space.
Yeah. And I'm not able to defend my space, I
So there's a part of you who wants to have your own space, and when she's there, you cannot take your own space.
Yeah, for example, I'm talking to my daughter and she answers instead of her. It's like, But the thing that triggers me is that I'm not able to tell her. It's stuck in here.
So you really want to tell your mother what's happening with you, but for some reason it feels very uncomfortable to say it.
Yeah, I don't dare.
So what's happening with you hearing this back?
When you tell me?
Yeah. What I just said, when your mother is there, you see a lot of things you want to say about it, but it feels like it's strangling you because you want to say it. And at the same time, you can't.
When I'm hearing this back, I get aware, I actually want to say something. And it gets a little clearer what happens.
Is this the real painful thing about being with when your mother is there to take care of your kids? That you want to say something and you don't feel you can do it?
Yeah, exactly. And it builds up because it doesn't come out.
And if you would say, does it feel pleasant or unpleasant? Does it feel very unpleasant, or does it feel unpleasant, or?
It feels very unpleasant. I don't like myself being so tense and aggressive.
And if you would have put a word on it, would it be angry or sad or?
Innerved.
Innerved.
Also, yeah. Irritated.
Irritated, okay.
And annoyed. Both by her taking so much space, and more I'm annoyed by myself that I'm so.
So what's stronger, the fact that she takes the space or the fact that you don't dare to do it?
I don't dare to do it.
That's a clear one. So the real trigger is you're not able to do it.
I feel like a child, that doesn't dare to speak up. I don't like myself being so passively aggressive and
Is that still the irritation connected to I don't dare to speak, or is there a different emotion to it?
There's also fear. Fear if I do dare to speak up. What might happen then?
So is there any thought connected to the fear? Is it a thought you don't know what's happening, but is there something that you think could happen?
Yeah. That everything that's unspoken might come out suddenly. We were both ripping off our masks.
And then all the shit that built up during the years is all coming out at once.
Yeah.
So if you start speaking, it's not going to be just about this occasion, it's going to be about everything that happened during your entire life.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel safe.
No, not at all. What could actually happen? She might be hurt as well. She might, freak out and insult me. That's what I'm scared of.
So this is not really what she might actually do, but this is the thing going on in your mind. This is all the fears that you have, that if you say something that she can get hurt and she can shout or she can get angry back at you.
Yeah, and that doesn't feel safe.
So let's have a look at something a little bit deeper. We found a few triggers, and one of them is that she takes space, but the other one is that you don't speak up about what's going on with you. And one of the things behind that is that you fear that when you speak up, a lot of stuff may come up from the last
47 years.
From your entire life, right? Okay, so what we're going to do now is to see what are the needs behind it. So the nice thing is that you started by saying she's taking space. So what you want is space. Did you take this card? So what does it do to you to look at this word space? What does it do to you? Is this the need that really wants to be fulfilled?
Yes, the need for really physical space, that I can be myself, so I'm saying that I feel safe within my space. I can say what I want, and my space is not going to be intruded.
Okay, so you just said another interesting word. It's the word safe. Could you hold this card too? So what's the difference between holding the card safety and the word space? What comes in deeper?
Space.
Space.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we keep the card safety because it's one of your needs. You express it somewhere.
Mm.
And then there's what you said, you want to express yourself.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
So, what's happening? Yeah. Self-expression.
Yeah, I feel very much connected to that. Yeah. Just saying what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling without being punished or judged. Mm. Mm.
So if you have to choose between the 3 cards, we've found 3 needs of you, and you have all of them, but at this moment, what's the one that's most alive? When I would look at your body reaction, it would be self-expression.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, just exactly, just saying what's alive, and then it's, or I would, yeah. Within my safe space, just expressing what's there, and I would love her to just notice.
So one of my questions for this moment, because this is a short session, is this enough, or is there still a need that wants to be found? Just check in with yourself. Is there still something else that wants to be found, a need?
Mm.
Or is it enough to just say to yourself, I have a need for self-expression, and it's not as much fulfilled as I want to?
No, there's another one coming up.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah, it's for the need for acceptance. And
And for?
For her love, kind of. For her still loving me if I express my anger or my irritation.
So which one will you want to take? Acceptance. You reacted very strongly to acceptance.
Acceptance or love? No, it's love.
It's
Motherly
love.
love, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And one of the parts of love is that you want to be accepted just the way you are.
Exactly. With my anger, irritation, and being annoyed.
Would you also like her to take care of you?
No, it's more being able to hear that and being able to still love me, although I'm angry at her.
So you want to be able to express yourself and be accepted at the same time. And that's to you what love from her means, is that you can be who you are.
Yeah, that's what, yeah. It's really this motherly love that embraces the child with everything that's alive. That's what I'm looking for.
You also want her to protect you? Well, this to me is a protection. Or is it about tenderness and closeness?
Embracing what's there, protection and warmth. It's also giving space again for, okay, you can be whoever you want to be or wherever you are, and I'm still there, I'm around you, I'm surrounding you with my love.
Also, you're connected?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to take care of the connection, but that it's there by itself.
So she's taking a little bit care of your connection.
That's not, what I'm hoping for, or what I'm longing for, is that there's no question that connection is there, whatever, however I might behave.
So I'd like to go to a next step, which is trying to figure out how we can fulfill your needs. And those are the needs for self-expression, for acceptance, for love, for warmth, for somebody taking care of you. Yeah, to feel that embrace. One of the things I learned from NVC is that there's a lot of possibilities to fulfill our needs. And the thing what we're going to do now is, if these are your needs, what could be a way to fulfill all of them? And that could be with your mother. And at the same time, when you already fulfill these needs in a different way, it's much easier to go afterwards to your mother. So the first question would be, is this something you want to do with your mother, or is this something you want to do yourself, or is there somebody else you can fulfill these needs with?
For me, it sounds easier to fulfill it with other people, or even to give it to myself, this kind of motherly warmth that I long for, and then trying to figure it out with my mother.
So we go into strategy. What would be a way for you to self-express and be accepted? What would work for you?
What would work for me is just daring to express what's alive and see what happens actually in the present. Expressing my anger or irritation in a kind of acceptable way, taking responsibility for it, still expressing it, and see what happens. Might not be as frightening as I feel.
So what could make it easier for people to accept when you express your anger? Would you feel comfortable expressing it to me, your anger? So what is it that's between us that makes it easy for you to express it?
Okay. Hugo. Yeah, if I think it would be easier for you to hear, also for me to express it when I say, okay, when you did this and that, I became angry. Yeah, kind of being an, you see that? Because I had a need for example, when you came into my apartment, I felt annoyed by you spreading dirt all over the kitchen floor. You didn't take off your shoes. I did not tell you either, but okay. Because I have a need for ordnung. What's that in English? Order. Yeah. Yeah. That would be a way. So.
No, this was a way for you to express yourself. How do you feel?
I hide it.
Okay.
What do you say in English? Hillary? No. Cheerful?
Full of energy.
Full.
Well, might not be the exact translation, but
Okay.
it shows what you're doing now.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice because I can open up a little bit.
So we've been going through the process. We started with you telling a story. Now we started actually by me checking whether I was able to be present with you. Did you feel my presence?
Yeah.
And I started repeating a few things. Did that help to get a deeper sense of being heard?
Your questions actually helped.
That was the first step. So I even went into trying to figure out what was the trigger in it. And we started with one trigger, which was that she takes a lot of space. And then we got to a different trigger, which is that you didn't feel the safety to express yourself. And we went into that, and we came to your mother and said, so you really want her love, and you really want to be able to express yourself and to, at the same time, be loved and be held and be embraced and to feel the warmth and acceptance. And then we looked at a few strategies, how you can fulfill these needs. And one of them was to express something of your anger, in your case, towards me. And we actually did it too, which is step 6. We went to action, so we got something to. So how do you feel now?
I feel cheerful, thankful, light. Yeah. And what really helped was when you repeated what I said, that you asked me, how is it if you hear it back? So I could double check saying what I heard. And you gave a lot of space, that also was helpful.
I'm very thankful that you were willing to share this with me, and also to show a little bit that this really works. And we will be looking at the shoe issue a little bit later. That's okay for you.
And what?
At the shoe
At the
issue.
shoe.
thank you all for listening. I hope this clarifies a little bit
on what this process can bring. This was not a very deeply challenging situation, but it had some elements of in it. And I can tell you that by just following these steps, you can also go into the even more challenging issues like this one. Thank you for listening.